exactly like something I would do.
Baby, just go off, go crazy, go cuckoo bananas on it.
People that have asked me for advice, if I say, what's your jab defense? They say, I don't know. It means they put their hands up and they go like this or something.
If you're gonna go to the trouble of sweating with guys, wearing a little costume, just go to an MMA grappling. That's how you do it, that's how you get good.
Hey, come on this way. Boom, boom, boom. I'll let myself out if that's okay with you.
You just let them hammers fly. Dog.
Yo, thank you for the kicking advice. The Bass Rutten vids really helped me as well as the workout CDs. Very intense.
Yeah.
Now I have a fight-ending knockout power, all thanks to Sam.
Yeah. If you practice Taekwondo style kick where you chamber the kick first, not that you should do that, but I think if you practice that, it will help you get the mechanics down better also. So I'll do that too. Taekwondo style chambered kick. Judo's cool. It's like a party trick though. Like being able to hip toss somebody, it's cool, but if you're gonna spend a lot of time in a karate suit hugging men, you might as well do jujitsu so that you have something that's you at least know how to defend yourself. The judo stuff is just a little, you know, you throw somebody, but then what? Then you're on the ground, and then what happens? So just do jujitsu, and you can do. You know, whatever gym you go to, they'll have takedown night where you drill takedowns and then get that in there. It's not something that's universally applicable, really all that useful. If you're gonna go to the trouble of sweating with guys and wearing a little costume, I would say just go to an MMA grappling class, you know what I mean?
Is it a bad move to join a Philly boxing gym when I have no conditioning?
No,
should I start running miles first?
You're good, you start running first. Just don't spar with anybody, because you're gonna get beat the up. You're gonna be like, beat that white bitch ass.
How do you train your reaction time, Sam?
What do you care about your reaction time for? You train your reaction. You do tennis ball.
Yeah.
Just look up Lomachenko tennis ball. Look up boxing tennis ball stuff. Anything like that will do that for you. If you want to get punching power, you do landmine punches and ball throws. You do need to have some muscle mass to begin with, and to get that, you would do your squats, your deadlifts, your bench press, all that stuff. But then to get power generation, you do landmine punches, you do ball throws.
Sam, I'm 6'3", working out more consistently. How do I realize my vision to achieve himbo status like Hassan?
I would start with a puka shell choker.
If you had any advice for generating more power from my Muay Thai kicks?
First of all, make sure your form is good. Practice kicking with your leg like limp, and imagine your leg is a baseball. Swing it. Open your hips up. There's a YouTube video of Boss Rutten demonstrating how to do a Muay Thai kick, and opening the hips is vitally important. Get that form in there, and when your form feels good, you can do stuff like a sandbag or some type of weight around your ankle and dragging it like this, that sort of thing. And you can also do, you can get that monkey feet exercise apparatus that's an ankle weight thing, and strap it up and get your hip flexor jacked. There's a video of Boss Rutten demonstrating how to pivot your hips. I would look up Boss Rutten roundhouse instruction. You probably don't need flexibility. I mean, I'm very inflexible, but I know that if I went to do kicks in like 2 weeks, I could get my kicks back. But you probably don't need flexibility. You just need to just start practicing. You can practice with a low like calf or quad thigh kick, and then get the technique from there. Most of it is taking your hips from, if your orthodox stance, from here to here, like pivoting your pelvis. But that's Boss Rutten talks about that in his video and explains it perfectly.
Dude, Sam, how do I safely train my uppercuts on a heavy bag? I feel like I'm gonna break my little sexy wrists.
You can't really. You can have somebody hold it. You can have somebody hold it back like this and throw uppercuts on that part. But on a heavy bag, you're usually just, missing on purpose.
I bought an 80 kilo heavy bag, and I'm not sure where to start with boxing. Can you recommend a good starting point, routine, or should I just go off on the thing like Podesta or Juicy Slice of Pizza?
Baby, just go off, go crazy, go cuckoo bananas on it. Just swing them fists, swing them hammers, let them hammers fly, dog. Short boxing on YouTube, Scott McLeod, Irish, Scottish boxing channel. Coach Anthony, Barry Robinson. Who's that fellow? Jeff Chan, MMAshredded.com. He's Muay Thai, but his stuff is super elite, good, awesome. But those that I just listed will get you right. But not to study, I like Genki Sudo. I like Sakuraba, BJ Penn, GSP, Canelo, Emmanuel. What's the drunken master? Whoever the guys that gave Floyd Mayweather a hard time by acting like a freak. His name's Emmanuel something. Zach Fox.
Zachary
Fox. I like him.
Ethan Klein with the 20.
Klein. I like Ethan Klein a lot. But for martial arts, I would say Coach Barry Robinson. There's a lot of good stuff on dynamic striking. You have to pay for it, so good luck. But I think there's one, Scott McLeod, boxing on YouTube. There's one, the very best one, if you're doing it for boxing. He has the least memorable name, but I think it's 𝐒-Boxing Academy. But his content is the very best. Let me see. Yeah, 𝐒-Boxing Academy. But his content is easily the greatest. Scott Sullivan MMA, is that his Twitter? Yeah, just search for Scott Sullivan MMA because he knows who the good Muay Thai content, where to get that. I've never hit a 1-2-3 with a tight hook. 1-2-3, because I've never once hit one of those. My highest level sparring partner who would beat my ass all day, but the one thing that I got him with a bunch was a long looping hook, which is how they say you're not supposed to do it. And it's not a powerful punch, but if you throw your body into it and you're kind of like, hey, come on this way. Boom, come on over here. That is a powerful punch. That's a bad form, sloppy, long looping left hook. Probably my most successful punch. I'm trying to pull back my jab, which I don't do because I'm lazy. My jab, I'm usually planning to get back unless a 2 is gonna follow. But if it's just a naked jab, boom, I'll usually get back a little, but I should retract it more. It's just the energy cost of all these little things. Trying to make it faster and not putting my weight behind it too. So the jab defense is very overlooked. People that have asked me for advice, none of them have any jab defense. I say, what's your jab defense? They say, I don't know.
Yeah.
And which I guess means they put their hands up and they go like this or something.
They do.
So your jab defense is going to be your rear hand, which is your right hand, is going to come out and meet the offending appendage, in this case, my jab, and you're going to meet it with high 5 pressure, probably a little heavier.
Okay.
But it's like high 5 and you're coming down the pipe. You're coming through the traffic lane this way. The reason for that is because if you go to parry it like this, then you're going like this and you're leaving your head open for a hook. So if you parry my jab,
like this,
boom,
then
boom.
Open,
That's what happens if you get enthusiastic with parrying. There's still a time and a place for a parry, but the parry's not the basis of your jab defense. The basis of your jab defense is you got your hand, you got it here over your mouth, okay? And you have it over your mouth because your mouth is the target of the jab. If you get hit in the forehead, if you get hit here, it grazes off. That's not really going to hurt. It's the jab is if it hits the mouth or the nose, that's where it doesn't feel so good. If I'm not feeling reflexive, if I'm feeling tired, I'll have this, what I call a knight's helmet, which is where I got my sort of visor through here, but I have the elbows tight. And the reason for that is because they're going to try to sneak in an uppercut or sneak through a punch like that. When I fought Thompson, his guard was like this, which basically left him, it's not his fault, but his guard was like this, so he was totally open to jabs, which is actually, it doesn't come across in the footage, but that's what I remember the most from it, was just sticking in with my jab a whole gang of times, and it felt pretty hard on my fist. So you want to prevent that jab from coming in. If you're flustered, if you're bewildered, if you're running out of energy, you can go to a real tight high guard. Problem with the high guard is that you're cutting down your visibility, so go ahead and do it. So you're not seeing punches to here. You're not really protecting the body as much. You can kind of squish down like this and sort of protect your body. I mean, yeah, you can protect your body like that, but you're cutting your vision down, and you're also open to looping punches that go around the hands. So that's why the high guard's not
So
super.
if you have the energy, this is almost always better?
If you feel like if you have more reflexes and more speed than the guy.
Okay.
Or if you can not, it doesn't, you don't have to have more speed and more reflexes, but you have to, if you moving this 3 inches, if doing this, if you have more speed and reflexes moving this 3 inches than they do moving their whole arm up, which is usually the case. It's pretty easy to block jabs like this. If you're really tired, you can shut down and go to the tight high guard. I mean, a lot of fighters, they'll just maintain a high guard all the time. It also kind of compresses your diaphragm a little bit and makes you breathe not fully. It does probably cost a little more energy to be scrunched up like this, which is something I'm more concerned about because of my size. This is, the jab's coming out to my left hand. You're just catching it like this, meeting with high five pressure and pushing it back that way right there.
Like, so I'm pushing
like pushing it kind of off the center line. You're pushing it off track.
Okay.
But you're not going like Mr. Miyagi karate parry yet. Boom, 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 boom. So I just try to not expend energy, stay tall, keep my feet not too far apart, long punches, trying to get a dominant jab going. I don't retract my jab because the cost of retracting the jab is so much higher because of the weight of my arm. The thing is, I've never been punished in sparring for not retracting my jab. I get caught from other, mostly from lack of cardio, but so what I like to do is I'll throw the jab, put your hands up, and you can throw the jab at their rear hand. You throw it at their rear hand, they start getting confident, they start thinking that they're catching it on purpose. So I'm throwing it at the rear hand, and then you switch it up and go to the chin. And when you throw to the rear hand, you're stifling their rear hand. You know that if they attack, it's gonna come from their front hand. So it's a lot easier to avoid or defend an attack if you know which arm it is. You've eliminated 50% of the chances. So you jab their rear hand, it's not that rear hand that's coming, it's definitely the front hand. If it comes with a jab, you can defend it like this. If it's a hook, defend it like this. So I just use this, put your guard up like this. I would just use this, cover both hands, and push them a little bit like this. That's why I like leaving this arm out there, and it's why I don't really try to retract it fast. I know you're supposed to pop it out and bring it right back, but I've never done a lazy one where I don't bring it back and been punished. Part 2 is dominating their jab. When you have a glove on, you're gonna open the glove and you're gonna cup around here, and you're gonna put a little bit of pressure down like that. And what happens with that is, over time, you do that 10 or 20 times in a row, pushing their arm down like this, their shoulder, this muscle is pulling it back up or resisting that. It's gonna burn that out, and it's gonna make it harder for them to hold their hands up. And that type of thing adds up. Or if you have any sort of sense of defending yourself, and they do too, then what happens is the time goes on, and the little things that add up start adding up. So this is one of those things that adds up, and once they can no longer comfortably hold their hands up because this muscle's burnt out, you know, it'll take some of the stiffness out of their jab. Boom, boom, boom. I like flowing Muay Thai combos. 1-2 body kick. I used to be able to do a lead leg kick, and what you can do is you can pull this down and do a lead leg kick like that. That's pretty tricky. Faking or throwing not a committed overhand like this, grabbing their front guard with that overhand, boom, boom, kicking like that. But I like Muay Thai combos that flow from one move to another. The Robert Whitaker 1-2 head kick, that and a fast up jab. So leaving the lead hand low like this. Like if you put your hands up, if my left hand is low, it doesn't make sense that this is the way it is, but you're not really aware of what this hand is doing. Like if we're fighting up here and this hand's like here, my left hand, you're not really paying attention to what it's doing. So if you step in with momentum like this, that momentum is gonna, because this muscle's very weak. So raising this arm, this is like a weak motion. But if you step in and augment the force that's making this arm swing up, that very quickly, the arm gets in place and it's this like bridge connection, and then your body weight's just flowing into their chin. So that's another one I liked a lot. And that's what I got, I don't think it was the up jab, I think it was just the traditional stiff jab with Thompson that I got him a bunch of times with. But the jab, if you like, look at the arm, this is the one skill thing I was able to remember in the fight. Like if you look at this arm, it's kind of like seeing a motorcycle in traffic. You don't know how far away it is. If you turn it, then your opponent can they got better depth perception. But if you keep it like this, straight up and down, and just extend like this, and don't cock back, don't do a little pop with your footwork before you go, just straight out like that. That's a fast jab.